It's good to see you and early again. That's great. So I want to jump in and pick up right where we left off last week. We had talked about doing some goal setting to work on some of the things we've been talking about. Some of those things, just to go over that, is the drinking and coping with your feelings of being overwhelmed and sad, because that's something you've always tried to do on your own, is manage your feelings. And then we talked about your kids' schedules and trying to meet all these commitments that you feel you need to be at. Right. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit more about this past week and what your schedule has been like? Yes, I know the feeling. Kids can get very busy schedules these days. Right. So still late to some things, but overall seems a little bit better, you would say? Okay. Can you tell me more about your kids' schedules and the activities that they're involved in and the ones you feel like you need to be at? Okay. And you mentioned your kids have said something about what they miss you at. And what were those? Okay. So they've got soccer and Boy Scouts, carpool, things like that. Okay. And what about the drinking this past week? How have you felt about that? Okay. So overall, how much do you think you're drinking during the week? Okay. So socially and to cope. Okay. What other activities do you do that you find help you relax? Okay. Okay. So these are the two big things right now, the kids' schedule and the, okay. Now we had talked about your family thinking you needed to come and also your husband. Um, how do you see these two main areas that you want to focus on affecting those relationships? Okay. So, ideally, how do you want to see things moving forward? Right. Okay, so when it comes to your children's schedules, you said that they've told you that getting to their games and not necessarily their practices are the most important. And also Boy Scouts, but that they did mention they would rather their dad possibly come to that because a lot of other fathers are involved. Is that right? Okay. And then, so I think you should try it first. Our first thing is I want you to try to make it to each child's game. You said there's only 2 per week. I think it's very reasonable to get to a game for each. And then we can reevaluate and try to go from there and see, maybe try adding a few things in depending on how you're feeling. And then as far as the drinking, I want you to try not to drink just to cope with feelings. You still want to be able to drink when you go out with your husband or with friends and have that glass of wine, right? So I think the big thing is not drinking to cope with our feelings and trying to maybe do one of those activities like reading or walking when you feel those feelings that you would normally just drink in. Okay, right. And you know you can take a book anywhere, and it's very easy to do, and just maybe go outside and walk pretty much anywhere. Right. So it would be very reasonable to do that. Okay. So do you agree that these are some goals that you can work on moving forward? Okay. And I understand, like you said, it's not going to be easy at first, making changes, but I do feel very confident that you can do this. You've made it to all of our sessions so far, and you've really expressed your desire to change. So I feel very confident that you can do this. Okay. I can't wait to hear from you next week and see how things go. And if you felt better or would like to maybe make some adjustments in some other areas. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Bye bye.